Wow, we are back. We're back. I'm so excited. It's been over a month since I've held a Tisha Talks live at 10:45. It's good to be back in the virtual studio, and I'm so excited to introduce you to my very first guest, Lorenzo Hickey. He is the founder of Shapeshift World. We met probably a couple months ago, and I'm just so enamored by this gentleman. He's got so much opportunity going, and he's always creating his own opportunities. I'm so thrilled to have you, Lorenzo. Thank you so much for being in the virtual studio with me today. So
I am,
excited.
yeah, I am so happy to be with you, Tisha. I swear to you, your energy and your conversations are infectious. So yeah, I'm the lucky one here. This is so much fun, and the first one back after summer break. Bring it, girl. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, and I know, like right when we were in the green room, I was telling Lorenzo about kind of my tech issues of computers restarting, having to go on another computer, the lighting and all that. But I'm like, you know what? The biggest part about all of this is what, Lorenzo? Showing up.
Showing up, yeah, making a
Showing
difference.
up.
Go mad, baby, go bad. Make a
Yeah.
difference.
I like you that you're like, just zen, breathe. We're going to do this. We're going to rock it out. So if the lighting is the biggest issue, oh well. Oh well. So, all right. Today, again, we're talking about personal development and personal growth opportunities. And I love what you stand for, Lorenzo, because every time I see you, you're like, I'm this and doing this, and I'm so excited about this, and I'm launching this. And you've helped so many companies just get it done. Like literally, that's like the motto, get it done. Don't stay in your head, like move it forward. There's a lot of opportunity out there, but you have to be willing to go get it. So yeah, tell us a little bit about like, are we always like this? Were you the kid in school that just had like all of these opportunities and were making sales at the playground? Like, please tell me. I'd love to hear that story.
Yes, well, my mother, my father, God bless my father, who's not with us, but my mom's 92 and she's still with us, and she still says I'm still her favorite son. Don't tell anybody. There's 6 kids. She's inspired me. One of the greatest things about life is people, friends, and family. And my mom inspired me. She worked a job, she raised her kids, she made it all happen. So I looked at that model and say, well, if she could do all that, I could do all that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I started working when I was in 8th grade. So yes, I have been this person for all my life. But what I do want people to understand is that my heart is as big as my body, and that I've always wanted to help. I've always wanted to help. So everything that I do has a slant of how can I make a difference for you? How can I make things happen? And so there's so many different little quips I have, and I'll close after this one. I said, don't be a perfectionist, be an actionist. Again, don't be a perfectionist, be an actionist. You have to take action. And for those who have heard these different sayings, even if you're falling down, falling forward, you're learning. So there's so much thing we can talk about. Talk to me, Tracy. Where do you want to go from here?
Oh my goodness. I just had a conversation with a client, in fact, because he is in that I'm afraid to fail. And I was like, you can't, because that whole fail, you've heard of that acronym, first attempt in learning, that's fail. It is. We've all failed. We've all tried to walk at a young age and fallen. Like we've all tried to speak and couldn't get the words out. Like we've all done that. So all of us, every single one of us has failed. I want to go ahead and put this comment up. This is Ashok. He's joining us from LinkedIn. He said, passion plus motivation gets things done. Thank you so much, Ashok, for being here. And just like Ashok, if you were tuning into this live broadcast, or even if you're watching the replay and you have a question for myself or Lorenzo, please put it in the chat. Say hello. Welcome back to Tisha Talks Live. And we'd love to have you join in on the conversation as we keep this topic going. I see there are some people out there, Lorenzo, that I think they're just waiting for the opportunities to come to them. Yeah. Right. And then there are those people like yourself that are like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make that thing happen. I'm going to get it done. I'm not going to wait for the opportunity to come to me. I'm going to go seek out the opportunity, or I'm actually going to create the opportunity. So how can someone go from, I just love to hear this thought from you. How can someone be that person that's like, I'm just going to wait for things to happen? How do they move into that? You know what? I'm going to make that thing happen. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's where most people get stuck. So let's talk about 2 or 3 tips that are important. Number 1 tip is talk to friends and family. Talk to Tisha, get a hold of me, and have a personalized brainstorming session about what's possible. Because what ends up happening for all of us is the other person we talk to sees things in us that we don't. So that mirroring kind of technology, mirroring idea, is just say, what do you think I'm good at? Or I'm thinking about this. What do you think? So that dialogue is step number one. Step number two is getting in alignment. And this is it's a little bit deeper conversation, but it's more what I'm all about, is if you're out of alignment and you're trying to do something you're not supposed to be doing. Like if I was going to be a full-time salesperson, I would fail miserably at it. I don't like selling. But what I do like, because I'm a recovering accountant, I do like sharing information. Mm-hmm. So by educating, my sales technique is truly educating. So know what you're really good at, but that personal development angle is once you're comfortable in your own skin, then things start to happen. That's a whole energetic conversation, but really that's step number two. Is you've got to get in alignment. Like, hey, what really is working for me? And step number three in my opinion, is taking action and doing what I call as a proof of concept, right? Mm-hmm. So try something for a little bit, work with somebody for a little bit, work with a coach. Even all these coaches, thousands of coaches out there today are offering free programs. Okay, mm-hmm. Let's be clear. Free is free for a reason, except there are those people that actually have great value and people are moving into value first. So just take a coaching class or two and see if you vibe with that person, right? If it feels right, just like Tish and I vibe, right? Like we liked each other from the beginning. So if you have that energy exchange and you're vibing with a coach, that's a third step, which is just try something for yourself. Those three things will get you unstuck, using old words, but in my sense, it will create a sense of awareness, right? Awareness, choice, and transformation. It steps into that acting mentality. Once you're aware, you can create a choice, now you transform. Those three things will get you on that journey.
Oh, good stuff. I know we have a couple more comments coming up. Ashok saying, Lorenzo is an empath. I can totally see that. Hearts ablazing. And then Samuel Fitz saying 100% true. So many great tips from that, because I think that you're right. We have an idea and we feel like we have to tackle everything on our own. And we don't go down the proof of concept, or we don't talk to people about it. And you and I were just talking about in the green room that communication is everything. It is the solution. And I'm dealing with that right now on my own. In fact, the lessons in my Lexus I recorded today, Lorenzo, was all about communication being the solution. And you know, it's so many of us are like, I got this, I do it on my own. And I'm like, no, please don't. Please involve people. Please figure it out. Please let us help you. And I think that is such a need for people, is just to be able to get out of their own head and ask questions, ask for help that they need. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that I don't know if it's a machismo thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I'm going to tap into that for just a second, because it's such a great piece. So the number $1 million tip for anybody is ask, right? Because what you said, you can't do it on your own. So what came out of your thread is really important to me. The reason that you're asking for proof of concept or having dialogue is you're asking for something. So questions, and there's a lot of science behind this, but questions are great instigators. They're going to create an inquiry in that person's mind. So number one, you're creating inquiry and intrigue, right? Inquiry and intrigue by asking a question. And then secondly, you're opening a dialogue that you can say, well, okay, so what do you think I would be good at, right? Being aware of yourself and being open to feedback and being open to what possibilities show up is sort of that fourth untouchable. It's like, just be open to it. Ask some questions.
Be open to it. And I would say, and you even mentioned this, like we had a great conversation, everybody tuning in the green room. So now we're bringing it back. But I mean, Lorenzo and I, we just get along really well because we're in alignment. We think very similarly of, you always need to be growing. You always need to be learning. You always need to be adaptable, and you don't know everything. You can't possibly know everything. You're not an expert. So let's stop saying we're experts, because you don't know everything. I want to give a big shout out to this guy, Royce Blake. Royce is out here also in the Arizona, Phoenix area. Nice. Yay, so glad you're back. I know when I went off the air for a month, he's like, what am I going to do on Fridays? It got me. It just made me smile. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. Sweet. I love the loyalty. So thank you, Royce. Thanks for being back with us on this first Friday back. But so much good information. And I mean, I don't know about you, Lorenzo, but if there's a day that passes where I don't learn something new, or I don't take away something out of even a conversation with a LinkedIn buddy, like I'm like, gosh, I feel like I need to go out and learn something.
Yeah, I know. Sponge, a daily sponge. So I'm going to leave you with an acronym. You ever heard of Tony Robbins? So
no, I don't know who that is. Can you
created this acronym. I swear on my life, we've got Akashic Records. For those of you who really have all these different modalities in your head. So Akashic Records, I created this thing, CANI, C-A-N-I. And I built a 100-person consulting practice in Chicago. And I took my team, and every day I said, can I? And can I is a lot of playful, but what can I stands for is constant and never-ending improvement. Can I? Constant, never-ending improvement. I went to register the domain. Tony had it. Like, oh, come on, really, Tony?
Tony.
but the point is, I've been using that my entire life and my entire consulting. I've started 21 companies. I've had thousands of employees working for me. And my mantra has always been, can I? In other words, can I do it? I don't know. Can you? It's like, that's a play. Like, I don't know, Tish, can you do it? Yes. But constant and never-ending improvement. And reason that's important, and that's the area I'm spending a lot of my time now in personal development, is when you have that ability and that confidence and that comfort in, can I do it? Well, I can because I'm learning. I can do it because I'm evolving and exploring. I can because at the end of the day, I'm getting self-confident because I'm trying things and I'm learning things. And that's the unstuck method, again, that we were talking about at the top of the show. Just get unstuck. So if you try some things, and you look at constant never-ending improvement, and OMG, Tish's talks, all these shows, everybody out there, podcasts, I mean, we are bombarded with information. Pick a lane, focus on it, get clear. So one more acronym, focus.
Yeah. Follow there's another acronym. Okay, I write it down.
I'm helping people, right? It's like, this one makes sense. Focus. Focus gives you greatest clarity on anything. This one's from Sherry Tree, my bank code trainer.
Yeah.
Follow one course until successful. Focus. Follow one course until successful. Focus is the key here, right? So take some of the questions we talk about things we're learning, get focused, get real, make it happen, and expand. Do you know that Amazon was focused? Microsoft was focused. They did one thing. Amazon sold books out of a garage, right? Focus until you can get expansion. So that's part of the tip. So look, I like to say I'm old, and I know a lot of people.
You're not old. You're not old.
So I have a lot of experience. I'm so happy to be here. Those are all just little tips and tricks that will guide you every day. I have more. I've got a couple more things I want to tell. I got to close with, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And look at this. We even have Samuel Fitt throwing his MSA in there, Mind Skills and Action.
Yeah.
All these great acronyms that are so easy. Focus. I really, really love that. I actually had never heard that one before.
Yeah,
so
Sherry Tree, baby.
Kudos to Sherry Tree. And so Lorenzo and I actually, we've been involved in the bank training. And if you guys watching haven't gone through that assessment or learned about that, it will change everything for you in, honestly, your communication, your relationships, your sales technique, your style, all of that. It won't be so scary, So I definitely recommend. So shout out to Sherry Tree. Focus again, follow one course until successful. So I have a question for you about that too, Lorenzo.
Sure.
So when does someone know it's time to change direction? So you're going down that path. I'd love to hear this because I think so many of us are like, I don't want to quit. I don't want to fail. I don't want to. But what if your passion changes? What if your direction changes? What if, when do you feel like it's the right time to say, I did it. I tried it. It wasn't for me. I'm moving to the next thing and I'm going to follow that one course.
Yeah. That is a multi-show question. But let me
so you're going to be on next week.
Let me try to answer it this way. So how many of you believe in the universe or, believe in an inner voice, believe in things happening for a reason, right? So I do 100%. So if those three things kind of resonate with you, here's the answer to your question. It's really easy because it shows up every day for you. Number one is, how do you feel energetically about your job or the thing that you're doing? If you wake up in your morning and you're like, I don't want to do this again. Tip number one, probably not for you. next thing to note is if you're putting out to the universe, like, I kind of want to become a teacher, or I want to be a coach, or I want to, do something else. And you say that to yourself, right? Inner voice. And then all of a sudden, you meet Tish. She says, well, I got this person that needs coaching help, or I got somebody I just met today that needs an accounting help. That wants to help people become more accountants, right? Virtual accountants. Like if you say that to yourself and it shows up either with people or more thoughts, that's your inner voice saying, that's your guidance saying, oh, well, you should think more about this. So that's tip number 2, because it really happens for each of us. Just be aware. That's the acronym, be aware. And then the third thing that's really critical is if you're just frustrated, depressed, angry person, you might call yourself anger issues. People look at you like, you're just not happy, right? Maybe a better way to say it. You're just not happy. That's a huge indication that you're out of alignment. And the way I would say it, you're out of soul alignment. In other words, we're here to do something. We're here to learn something and do something. And if you're out of alignment, you're going to be in that yucky place. Let's call it yucky. You're in that yucky place, right? And that's with your relationship. That's with your kids. That's with yourself. It's with your weight. All those things are, again, sort of all in that bundle of third things. Those are things are happening. Then you're really not, you need to think about a change. And that's what we said at the top of the call. We watched this because the top of the call was like, here's 3 tips to just get unstuck. Right. And that will let you unstuck. So that is the baby Reader's Digest version of how you know that you're ready. And then the last thing, so I got to get this is a shameless plug, sort of, but not shameless plug. The last thing is that you do some personal development work, right? So I happen to have 2 personal development for couples. I have personal development for individuals. But do something, even if it's reading or even if it's listening to meditation, do something that creates personal awareness and creates space for you. So that will change things. And that's, again, I'll leave you with, I have one last real major tip, but I'll leave you with that. So I'll stop talking. I love it.
Yeah. You're like, carve on that for a little bit. Good quote here from Royce. Don't be afraid to ask, even if you think they're too big of an expert. I always love to surround myself with a lot smarter people than me. You should. You really should. Seek those people out. Ask if they can mentor you or spend a little time with you. Because again, I think a lot of us, I mentor a lot of people, and the answer is so clear to me, but it's not to them, right? They're so close, but they don't see it. And just a little bit of a tweak can make such a big difference, or a little change in their schedule. And man, they would just be crushing it. You need that guidance. You need that expert guidance, or you just need someone to listen to where you are and how they can help you, help you move forward.
Being witnessed is huge. Yeah. And by asking that question, you can be witnessed, and that helps everybody. It will transform. It'll shift your energy. All right. What else you got? I got more things to say. But
well, I love what you said, because I love storytelling, Lorenzo, and I think that people really relate to stories. But exactly what you said. If you're not in alignment and you feel like you're icky and you're frustrated and you're taking it out on people you love, your relationships are suffering. I found myself there in 2015, where I'm like, everything I've done, and I don't know if I want to do it. And I don't know if I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to be. So you're right. I just remember being in Huntington Beach, and Lorenzo's on the beach right now, hanging out in San Diego, like beautiful sky. How's that sand between your toes? Is it nice?
It's kind of a little wet. The tide went out.
I love how the sky stopped moving behind you. Like
I know.
I don't know how you did that. You must have said, I'm on a StreamYard. Just stop for me and keep this.
Exactly.
But I remember, and I think that a lot of us will find ourselves in a situation where what we're doing is really not in alignment, or maybe at one point it made us super duper happy and we loved it, and now we've kind of lost that spark. And I know for me in 2015, I found myself in a bookstore in Huntington Beach. I just had a successful event, but I just felt very empty, Lorenzo, like super empty, frustrated, tired. I felt like I missed a lot of things in my life because of some choices that I made. And I just remember in the bookstore coming across this book, and it's sitting on my bookshelf that says, Love Who You Are. And it was just it was just this little cute little book with a big heart and hands. And I just remember buying it, and I just was bawling. And that was that choice that I knew I didn't have to stay where I was or try to make that work if I really didn't want that in my life. So we have we have such big purpose, and we have to be led, and we have to be listening to that. And we can't just force it if it's really not the path that we're supposed to be on.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to tap into one of the things, the reason I do personal development work in couples and individually is because self-love is the number one and only thing that you can do first in order to have a great relationship with yourself, your kids, your friends, your family, whomever, your business partners. If you love yourself, you accept yourself. So all the work that I'm doing and all the work that I've done to get to this place is on the path of becoming fully aware of self-love. And so that's one of the things that I will share with everybody. If you can help or want to talk to me about, or anybody, just say, how do you find self-love? Let's do personal development. And the other major thing, because I keep saying major, there's all these cool tips, but they're all real. They are real. Self-love is number one. Gratitude is number two. It's just one of my other tips. If you're in gratitude, so I'm single, and at one point I was dating a few years back, and I dated this young lady, and I can't remember her name. Otherwise, I give her credit, because you have to give credit to where credit's due. But she said, every morning I do my gratefuls in the shower, gratefuls in the shower. And so she said, what am I grateful for? So I'm in the shower, I'm, cleaning up, whatever, thinking I'm grateful for this, or grateful for that. So every day, and my brother said this one, every night he puts his head on the pillow and he says what he's grateful for. And now I say my gratefuls at night and in the morning and in the evening. The reason that's important, it takes all of the energy about you and puts it out there to other people. So you're giving your energy to the universe. So you're saying, I am grateful for Tish. I love Tish, not like lover, but I love Tish Marie, right? Because I'm grateful for you, right? And that energy is true. It's honest. It's pure, and so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the show. I'm grateful for my relationships. I'm grateful for my partners. I'm grateful for my 3 kids. And I'm grateful that I'm going to be a granddad today. For those of you who don't know, 35 years in the making. We're adopting twins, 5-year-old twins today with my oldest daughter. So I'm grateful for all those things, which makes every day a good day.
Yes. And very much like your friend, I don't do that in the shower, but as soon as I wake up in the morning, I sit there and I just reflect on gratitude. And then when I go to bed, gratitude. When I'm in my car, gratitude. And, thinking about the blessing that just happened. Like if you were at a meeting and it was this awesome meeting and just, I was so grateful for that moment. Like it's so easy to add those blessings in your day, giving you that perspective. I'm always about that abundant mindset, that abundant lifestyle. So I never feel like I don't have enough. There's never a day where I'm like, gosh, I wish I had more. I'm like, I get to do this. Like, this is freaking amazing. I love it.
Here's another great analogy. Your cup is flowing with abundance, therefore it's available to everybody, right? So, some my glass is half full, my glass is half empty. No, my glass is overflowing with abundance so I can share. So it's a mindset shift. By the way, way back, the company name, Shape Shift World. Yeah. The brand, the tagline is shift the way you think to shape your world. So I built a company on a spiritual journey with a name specifically intended to help people shapeshift. So
shapeshift. So we're not talking X-Men and that blue character, Jennifer Lawrence, and she shapeshifts.
It's just like, exactly. Well, you can go there, but I do that inside, which makes me, beautiful on the inside and changes, which just lets me have the scenery that I have.
Yeah. So, I love it.
So let's there. Yeah, let's there. Gratitude's important. Gratitude's a key. That's a door locker, a door opener right there. If you have gratitude every day, your life will change. I promise you, to change every day. I swear to you, in my life, it'll change. And if it doesn't, you call me up and we'll find a way to make it change, because I can do that too.
I love it. All right, another comment here from Samuel saying, "Close your eyes and open your heart." So good. Yes, absolutely. You find the answers there, right?
Yeah. And we're at 11:11. So just for those who are really oriented to 11 and
11. I got to make my wish.
It's alignment right now, baby. Yes. I just made mine.
Yes. All right. I'm going to close my eyes and say mine too. All right. Okay. We're good. Okay. So Lorenzo, anything else you want to add on personal development? We talked about self-love. We talked about gratitude. I'd love to ask you, like, where do you think people find the growth opportunities? Like, is that just, again, putting it out there, having that abundance, just being honest and clear. Well, we talked about focus a lot, but can you elaborate a little bit more on people want to have those growth opportunities? Where do you think they should be kind of seeking those out?
Yeah. So number one, I have spent my whole life in technology, but really it's been focused on finding the modalities and the methodologies to quickly, effectively help you get on track. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things you get, I put this, I've got this Govi card. If you want to put that in there,
Yeah, perfect.
the personality profile is at the bottom of that. So you go to the bottom of that page, all you do is go to this link, Govi link shape shift, and you go to the very bottom of that. That's the bank code personality profiling. If you take that, I will spend 15 minutes to a half hour with you and walk you through your bank code. It's a drag and drop kind of thing on the website.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk you through that because I get your information, and I will talk to you about what's possible. We also, in the other thing that I'm doing right now is working with a company called Convergence Seminars, which a lot of former size seminars and landmark seminar people, and those individuals are about help personal development in your world. Then I have another brand called Relate a Bit, which we don't have a link for, but is coming out. If you just let me share with you the universe of possibilities, and some of it's related to me and some of it's not, but all of these tools and all these techniques get you clarity on how you show up and how you show up in your relationships. And that's the beginning to all of this, right? Because what do we care about most? Besides how we show up ourselves, is how we show up in relation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want my partners, right? I want my business partners. I want my kids, my 3 daughters, my now 4 grandchildren to like their papa. So I have to show up in a language that's meaningful to them. And that's what bank code does for me. So literally, let's just start with the bank code thing. Keep it simple. Get to that link. Take the personality profiling report. Let's have a chat. And I will share dozens of links, techniques, capabilities where you can find your person to do personal development with, because it is personal. It's not just my development, but my way. It's personal to you. And so that's really key.
I feel like there was the tag right there. Find your person for personal development. There it is.
Yeah.
Gosh, you're just
exactly. Let's do that.
Man of words. Find your person, because you're like, again, thinking about that abundance mindset, there are lots of people that do what you do, what I do, Lorenzo. There's endless possibilities of who you could work with. But especially when you're talking about personal development, you would want to find your person that can help you, that can grow you. So good. All right. I want to say hi to this guy. I haven't seen him in a long time. This is Luis Melendez, Mr. Groovy, joining us on Facebook.
I know Luis.
Yeah, Luis. He's out in the LA area, I believe.
Yeah, you bet, baby. Good to see you.
He actually mentioned that he wants to come to a social connect next year, so we may get to see him in person.
You should do that. Yeah, I think Luis and I might have met even through Marsha Weeder. So some of the work I've done with people like Marsha Weeder and others. Yeah, I've got great mentors, and that's part of the journey. Learn from everybody.
Oh, I know. I think every person needs several mentors. I know I have them. I definitely have them, and they're just
super cool. Yeah, I appreciate this opportunity to chat. I want to leave one more thought about find your person conversation. There's a resonance, an energy exchange that you have with people, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not. It just happens. So just kind of work with me on this. That resonance energy is something that you will feel and you will know. So back to, know if you need to make a change, know if you need to do something. We're at a time in our world, and I mean this, people, with love in my heart, where you need to start getting rid of people that you shouldn't be with. Okay. I don't mean just the boyfriends and the girlfriends and your partners. I'm talking about business relationships. I'm talking about people that have been dragging you into their energy and their world for a long time. We want to elevate. So one of my other big taglines is a brand I have called Elevate Marketplace. We want to elevate humanity. The only way to elevate humanity is to create a resonance and a positive vibe for everybody to show up. So let me leave you with this, because I know we're on time. I built this tagline, came out of a trailer. It was 120 degrees in Yuma, Arizona. I'm sitting there with my nephew. He's 20 years younger than me, and I said, "Dude, we got to do something." And I said, "You know what? The power of we elevates me. The power of we elevates me." It's like, I love doing this with Tish. The power of we elevates me. I'm vibing, right? I'm loving this. Well, that's how we can live going forward. So if you're not having the power of we elevates me conversation, then maybe you're not with the right person in the right situation in the right time. Or maybe it's a time, a reason, or a season, and it's just a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. You got to kind of, let's let it sit for a little bit. Because that resonance, that vibe, that energy is what will shift you and transform you. And believe me, I've lived it, done it, been there, and sometimes wrote the book. A new company that we're doing it. So it's so cool. Sorry, Tish. I'm full of stuff. Like I told you.
I know. This needs to be like a 5-hour conversation that we're having.
But it's just hopefully it just creates some actionable, right? Actionable opportunities. That was the thing at the top of the call, to circle back. All we're really trying to do is be an actionist, not a perfectionist. Just show up. Just show up.
Just
and show up authentically, and then the rest of the world will come to you.
There you go. All right. I want to put this up there. Lorenzo, exactly what I'm doing now, removing heavy toxic peeps. Yeah. So we've got a couple lessons: self-love, gratitude, removing those people in your life that are bringing you down and they're just not good energy. Like those are some great tips to help you with personal development and personal growth. So I just want to say thank you so much, Lorenzo, for being here today. First time back, tech problems, all this. Like my mic's gone out a couple times. I don't know if you noticed. I'm like, all right, we're just going to show up. We're just going to keep this going because that's what living authentic life is, you know? So thank you so much for being on. And thank you to everybody who tuned in live to this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. And to those of you who are going to be watching the replay, Lorenzo just dropped so many great nuggets. So Lorenzo, it's going to be very difficult for me to find the one clip that I just love, but I think I've got it. So I'll be putting that up next week and tagging you in it for those of you who might have missed it or just wanted to grab that nugget to keep your day going. But I just want to say thanks. It was such a pleasure. Congratulations on the twins. So excited. Good for you, Grandpa.
3:00 Pacific, baby. It comes stamp of approval.
Yeah, picking up the twins. So have so much fun in San Diego, and I will catch you back here in Phoenix. And for those of you who tuning in, we have Red. Red is my amazing sales guy. Met him on LinkedIn, and we're going to be talking about creating a better workplace for introverts. So if you're an introvert, you probably want to check that one out. We're going to be talking about sales and so forth too. So that's coming up next Friday. And I just want to say, everybody, have a great weekend. Such a pleasure to be back with all of you on Tisha Talks Live at 10:45. We'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.